A TCS employee was the solitary casualty of the twin blast that shook Chennai Railway Station early morning today. While several theories abound on the blast, the incident has sent shockwaves across Chennai and asking the same questions all over again.
It was meant to be a 10-minute halt for the Bangalore-Guwahati Express at the Chennai Central Railway Station. Minutes after it pulled into the station, 1.5 hours behind schedule, came the explosions. Two blasts within minutes of each other in coaches S4 and S5 on the train. Two bombs, one kept underneath the seat, went off. A 22-year-old TCS employee who died was occupying the seat underneath which one of the bombs was kept.
It was around 7:30, I guess. We were all sleeping. We just heard a too loud noise, and then what we had to do is we just rushed out from the coach, and now we are all safe. People were injured. We got down from the train without carrying our luggage.
Let's take a look at the sequence of events this morning. It started, of course, with the Bangalore-Guwahati Express pulling into platform number 9 at the Chennai Central Railway Station. The explosives then went off at about 7:15. Two explosives in S4 and S5 bogies. Since then, we've had policemen scouring the tracks where those bogies were placed. We've had sniffer dogs going through baggage and cargo on that train. We've had explosives detectors trying to find traces of explosives on any of the passengers' luggage as well. And we've seen policemen and officials trying to look for any clues, questioning suspects, trying to inspect any fragments they have found along the tracks as well, to search for try and find any clues to what might lead to the source of this explosion.
The injured were rushed to the Rajiv Gandhi Hospital very close to the station. Fortunately, most of them had minor injuries.
Investigation is going on. The railway police and also the state police both are cooperating each other. They are investigating. When we get a detailed report, we will be able to know the cause and what are the reasons for this incident.
This is the train on which the blast happened, and now this train is moving. It's going to the destination. It's going to Guwahati. You can see the initial information that Headlines Today has got is RDX was used. So that was the material that was used in this train. More details are awaited. My police sources are telling me that they're trying to find a connection between the ISI agent who was arrested and also with this blast that has happened, trying to find out how that bomb landed. These are the initial information we are getting. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha has ordered for a CBCID probe. There's absolute security here in this area. You can see that maximum police protection. This train is going with the maximum police protection. With camera person Daniel, this is Priyambada in Chennai for Headlines Today.
And Mr. Sipal Singh, security expert, is now joining me in the Noida studio. Mr. Singh, you have the pictures of what happened after the blast running right behind you. I want you to help us explain, because the question we are asking is that even after every terror strike, there are absolutely no lessons learned. Look at the manner in which forensic experts are collecting the evidence. Isn't this archaic?
Look, it is really very crowded, archaic and very unscientific method of collection of evidence. First of all, out of all this forensic expert, out of all this crowd, there will be hardly about 5 to 10 people from the forensic expert squad. Others are just some police officers, some controlling, some sending somebody, some coming. This is not the way when you go to the scene of explosive. Because where explosive has occurred, there can be some dominant explosives lying there. There can be some dominant explosive lying there which can be given by a remote control and can be exploded. So you will have another injury.
But my question is, why isn't this done? Why isn't the entire area sanitized?
I'll tell you, the question is, there is more of curiosity in the policemen than actually the technical know-how. So they out of curiosity want to see, what is to be collected here. I'm saying the collection, the smelling, etc. is of the gunpowder. whether it's a gunpowder or what type of powder had it. That's why they are smelling explode. Now, wherever.
But there are no gloves, there is absolutely no gear that any of these officers are wearing.
No, I'll tell you one thing. Let's not go by gloves. Gloves is meant when you are touching a scene of crime where you know some murder had taken place, something you don't want to disturb a scene of crime. In this case, they want to collect the powder and want to smell it. Smelling is more important. You know why would it detail dogs? Because smell is more important in any explosive. So in this case, what has happened is these police officers have sent various people here and there when the coach was there, and they're just trying to say, here is that some powder, here is that powder, here is that powder, and the expert going, taking it and smelling. Now this is most unfortunate. He should tell from a distance that here, this side I find some explosive, and the expert should go, and expert will go with a caution. What is the caution required?
No, I want to show you some pictures that we have got from blast sites and terror attack sites abroad, and I want to ask my producer to play those pictures to you. Now this is a crime scene that is carefully secured. Look at the way the police and security agencies come in. They sanitize the entire area. Not just that, they also make sure that they're wearing the right kind of gear when they go in.
Look,
why can't we see the same things here? Why are we so archaic despite having had so many repeated terror strikes?
We are not learning any lessons. Now what happened in Aurangabad? Lastly, about a week or so back, when one of officers of CRP and some other people are injured, they brought some explosives from Aurangabad, and they brought some explosives to Aurangabad from Ranchi area and wanted to have it diffuse it. And in the process of diffusion, two chaps lost their life. So the methodology, they are more of a bravado than actual technique. Now in this case, the scene of crime, this which you have seen the foreign countries have done,
right.
This is comparable if you can to the rally which took place in Bihar. After the rally, when explosion has taken place there, rally in Bihar with Modi, that type of scenario should have been there, which we are finding here. But in this case, since explosives have already taken place, it's not a prodding that we're, but all the same, the crowding, the halla gulla which is going on, and the way they are going about is very, very unscientific, very, very unstandard, and very, very archaic. It can result in more casualties. It can also destroy the evidence. You know, you are having, when the explosive takes place, this epicentric. From the epicenter, the fragments are thrown out. Now, in the process of going here and there, they are losing the fragments. And those fragments may be on the rooftop, maybe on the tree top, they may be anywhere. So you have to collect those fragments, then collect the evidence. So I am of the view that this sort of way is really not only archaic, this is dangerous.
Let me also go across to Priyamvada, who's joining us at this point from Chennai. And Priyamvada, we're talking about how no lessons have been learned. Despite what has happened, the manner in which the forensic experts collected all this evidence, and you were there. Tell us what exactly happened on the ground and whether the area has still been sanitized or not.
Well, Maru, clearly Tamil Nadu police, which was not prepared for this kind of a blast, despite intelligence input. We do accept that a blast happened in Tamil Nadu almost 10 to 15 years back, but that doesn't mean in a volatile situation a state cannot be prepared. None of the officials who entered the compartment, the basic, they just entered they walked on top of all the evidence. They in fact walked on top of the shoe and other remains and debris, which could provide very crucial DNA even of probably the person who had planted the bomb. But they just walked over. They were using empty hands. None of them used gloves. Slowly the crowd was also coming in. There was not enough cordoning. On top of everything, not enough officials present. More than everything, lack of coordination. There were too many agencies present. There was railway police, the Chennai police, intelligence, and there was so much confusion and chaos here on the ground, and the lack of coordination was very visibly evident.
Right, Priyamvada, stay with us. Pierre is also joining us, who will take us through the exact series of events, and I want to come back to Mr. Pal.
Let's take a look at the sequence of events this morning. It started, of course, with the Bangalore-Guwahati Express pulling into platform number 9 at the Chennai Central Railway Station. The explosives then went off at about 7:15. Two explosives in S4 and S5 bogies. Since then, we've had policemen scouring the tracks, where those bogies were placed. We've had sniffer dogs going through baggage and cargo on that train. We've had explosives detectors trying to find traces of explosives on any of the passengers' luggage as well. And we've seen policemen and officials trying to look for any clues, questioning suspects, trying to inspect any fragments they have found along the tracks as well, to search for try and find any clues to what might lead to the source of this explosion.
Mr. Singh, security expert, is still with me in the Noida studio. Mr. Singh, I want to ask you that as far as a terror strike is concerned, or any blast that happens, is there a modus operandi that is followed? Are there agencies who know which agency comes in first, then who follows? Is it the forensic experts that come in next? And secondly, with the kind of evidence that is gained, what are the clues and leads that agencies get?
You know, in this case, it's a very important question. Modus operandi, we first have to see what type or what group of terrorists operating in that area. Now, immediately to my mind, in this case, we know 2 days back, we had arrested, the police had arrested a person who was from Sri Lanka national. He was attached to the Colombo embassy. He was coming and going to Chennai and was responsible for recruitment of some terrorist element in the youth. So he was associated with an organization. Now, what that organization modus operandi is has been mentioned many a time, even in the interrogation of Tunda. They have done that we have remote control, we use remote control. We have got bombs, also high explosives, and low explosive bombs are given to our youth who are initially inducted into it.
Right.
So that they want to see whether he is absolutely getting expertise in the exploding or not. Now, in this case, keeping with that clue, we should have tried, and probably they will try, the NI team, that who could be the group, what is the modus operandi being used.
Okay.
In this case, modus operandi, to me it looks, from my experience in terrorism in Punjab and in Northeast and all, I think this seems to be a remote control device.
Okay.
The remote control devices can be many, but in this case, that I will not elaborate. But in this case, I feel there is a remote control device.
Okay, let me ask Prem Vada, who's there. Prem Vada, what are the leads that you're getting from your sources in the agencies?
Well, at this point of time, we have got confirmation from highly placed sources that a timer bomb was used, and the material that was used in the bomb are ammonium nitrate, ammonium toluene, and a little bit amount of sulfur. It is a low intensity blast. At this point of time, there are 100 CCTV footage here at the Central Railway Station I am standing. Right now, the RPF DG has come here. He's holding meetings with the CBCID officials. They are checking all the CCTV footage to see anyone suspicious had come out of the train or moved into the train. But as of now, they have hit a dead end as far as the suspects are concerned, because they had captured 2 suspects. One of them has been let off because he had valid documents. The other person also doesn't seem to be actually having any information or was in any way related to the case. So in a way, they are not able to pinpoint and find out who exactly was responsible for this blast. They have just been able to find out the material used for the blast.
Okay, and there are several unanswered questions at this point. Let me go back to Pierre and ask him, what are those main questions that need to be answered at this point?
The investigators will have to answer at least 3 questions in the coming days, and they're working on multiple theories for each one. The first challenge before them is to find out who was behind the blast. Some sources believe that the ISI agent who was arrested yesterday from Sri Lanka may be behind it. He was arrested, remember, with pictures of vital installations across Chennai. Another lead that's being considered is the involvement of the Tamil Nadu-based terror outfit Aloma, which had been banned after the 1998 Coimbatore blasts. Investigators also have to establish a motive behind these explosions. Was it merely to create panic by creating a stampede at a crowded railway station, or was there something more sinister behind this plot? The third question they're grappling with is, what was the real target? Now remember, this train was at least an hour and a half late, so some sources believe the bomb was actually supposed to go off in Andhra Pradesh and not at the Chennai railway station. However, Chennai is also believed to be the target because of reduced security there. Voting, remember, had got over on the 24th of April.